Good evening to everybody. Hope everybody's well on this Thursday evening, and welcome to the live Q&A with myself, Leon Bartropp, and the community, you guys. So it's you guys and ladies and boys and girls that make this what it is. So get your questions ready. If you've got any questions, or if you just want to watch and listen and learn or not learn or whatever, then it'd be great to see you on here. We should be on here every Thursday doing our live Q&A. We may even have a live from the bank next Thursday. Ooh, that'd be good, wouldn't it? But yeah, good to see you guys and ladies, and get your questions ready, and welcome to Thursday's live Q&A. Weather is definitely a bit warmer and a bit better, isn't it? We should go and have a look at the weather in a little while, but yeah, it's definitely warmer. I think quite a few lakes are going to be spawning over the next week or so as we're rolling up to June. It's that time of the year, isn't it, when everything all warms up. All of a sudden you go, bloody hell, they're spawning everywhere. I think quite a few lakes have already started to spawn, haven't they? So let me know if your lakes have spawned. Put it down in the comments. Have your lakes spawned yet? Or do they look like they're going to spawn? This little bit of extra warmth these last few days, I think a lot of lakes over the next week or so are going to be spawning, definitely. But let's see who's on tonight. Let's see who's here. Facebook user, evening everybody, evening to you. Evening all from sunny South Wales. Lovely, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Jay Marchant, oi oi, good to see you, mate. Who's tuning in on YouTube. Evening Steph, good to see you, mate. Steph is one of our subscribers on the Catch More Carp. Good to see you, mate. You'll be coming also to the Norton Disney social that we've got going on, the 21st to 23rd of July. We've got one space left for the Sandhurst social, 9th to 11th, Sunday to the Tuesday. We've got one space and only one space left on that. So if you're interested, send me a message over on Instagram or Facebook or Messenger or whatever, and I'll send you some details. We've got 3 spaces left on the Norton Disney, 21st to the 23rd of July. That's the Friday to the Sunday. We've got 3 spaces on there. So we'll be doing goodie bags from CC Moore, combining them all, CC Moore, Nash and Carp Particles UK. We will also be having a hog roast on the Monday when we're at the Sandhurst, and on the Saturday when we are at Norton Disney. So guys, if you're looking for something to do on those dates, send me a message and we'll try and get you booked in for the last couple of spots on each, or last one spot on each, more it's going to be. Who else is here tonight? But Nick, there he goes. Now then, hope you're all well. Back down sunny Watford. Yeah, bloody hell, you dove move about, boy, didn't you, Nick? Very good, thank you. There's Adam. Evening, have you tried Sean the Chef? What do you think? I haven't ordered any of his cakes yet. I've been trying to cut down on my cakes. I went and had a look at Sean the Chef's Facebook page. My God, it does look impressive, doesn't it? Some of the cakes and bakes and slices he does, and definitely, Adam, I'm definitely going to be ordering up some of that. I tell you, it looks very popular. Looks very nice as well, doesn't it? I'm definitely going to have a go on that. So thanks for putting me on there. Evening for Facebook user, evening to you, sir. There he is, Neil. Evening one and all. Made it 2 weeks in a row. Bloody hell, yeah. We haven't seen you for ages, and you make it 2 weeks in a row. Good to see you anyway. My question, fella, how long can shelf life boilies and pellets in liquid live in a sealed bucket for? Difficult one. Depends on the shelf life boilie. I mean, I can only really speak for the CC Moore shelf life, which is I use shelf life and frozen bait now. I use both. So because of how good the technology's come along, I use both of them. But to keep them in a bucket, shelf life, I'd want to keep a little bit dry. So with the pellet in there, that's going to keep it, that's going to draw out all the moisture, whether it be shelf life or freezer bait in that bucket. And you've got liquids as well, haven't you, in there? If you're in a bucket and you keep it, if you've got pellets, boilies and liquids, now will the liquids melt the pellets? Quite possibly. I would say in a bucket, out of the sun, out of direct heat, probably a good few weeks. Good 2 or 3 weeks, definitely. Maybe even longer. in a sealed bucket. I'd just check it. I'd move the contents around, definitely, if you want to leave it in there for longer than that. But yeah, I probably wouldn't leave it in there for much longer than about 2 or 3 weeks. Even the shelf life, to be fair. Although the shelf life probably lasts for ages. But the problem is you're going to get is those pellets are going to suck out all the natural liquids in the boilies, and they're going to become like marbles, absolute marbles. They won't be the one unless you rehydrate them with more liquids, but then again you've taken out all the goodness that's already in them. Stuart says, evening Leon, great video again, Stuart. Glad you enjoyed it, mate. Glad you liked it. Yes, did you like the campaign video that we did on the wool pack? That is the first one of this season. I think it's number bloody hell, about 12 or 13 in the campaign in the wool pack series of videos. I'll just play you. I'll play the intro. Not the intro. The trailer. So you can go and have a little. You're gonna go have a look. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out on the Catch More Carp website. If you're a member, if you're not, sign up and you'll be able to see it. Have a look at this. Tell me what you think. Welcome everybody. There we go. That was more as part of the trailer anyway, but you can see that's on the close Facebook group and everything as well, and on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and everywhere else as well. If you want to watch the full trailer, but yeah, I think it's about 4 or 5 minute trailer on YouTube. So yeah, that give you a real good insight into that video. If you want to watch the whole film, check out. Go and have a look at catchmorecarp.co.uk. Sign up for a monthly or an annual subscription. Evening, Rich. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Who else we got here? Here he is, Steve. Hi from Reno, Nevada. Bloody hell, Reno, Nevada. Sounds good, that, doesn't it? Hope everyone catches the big one this week. Let's hope so. Anyway, there's a few big ones been coming out. I tell you, I don't know if Dave's on here. Dave Little, he's had a couple of nice ones this week from the wool pack. I was very fortunate enough to be there to see him catch the wood carving, a common which is like absolutely out of this world. So you'll be seeing pictures and images of that, no doubt. You may even see it as a little film on ESP coming up soon. But yeah, it was good to see that. Beautiful fish. I think there's some nice ones coming out everywhere. And we've got the new moon coming up tomorrow, is it? I've always found that I like a full moon, and the full moon I like leading up the 2 or 3 days before the full moon. For a new moon like what we've got coming tomorrow, I like the 2 or 3 days afterwards. The downward, the waning crescent is called, I believe, of a new moon. So I should be out the weekend fishing, the weekend or next week, I think, fishing. But yeah, there'll be some more big ones coming out before they spawn. There'll be very good weights as well. We're going to go and have a look at the weather in a little while anyway. But yeah, hi Steve from Reno, Nevada. Good to see you, mate. Thanks for tuning in. There's another good friend, Chris. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. No sound. You should be able to hear me. Should be able to hear me really, really well. I can see the microphone going up. Should be able to hear me, Steve. Stephen. Should be able to hear me, mate. Nick says, evening, Leon and the Carp family. Evening to you, Nick. Hope you're well. Don't forget, guys, get your carp fishing questions and queries in tonight. Get them in there. Hopefully we should be able to help you with them. Evening, everybody. Hope you're all well, Dave says. Jay Marks, hello, mate. Ronnie C says, good evening. Good evening to you, Ronnie. Hope you're well, mate. Chris Bloodworth. Freedom Man, them seagulls love it, Leon. Yeah, that comes from, remember we done the Fire in the Frontier video on YouTube. You should be able to find it on the Fox channel. But if you want a bit of a laugh, a bit of fun, Fire in the Frontier, free them seagulls and all that, yep. It was really fun making it, to be fair, Chris. So, yeah, thanks for that. There's John Frith. Evening to you. John will be coming on one of the socials as well. Look forward to seeing you, mate. Even though I hope all's well. Talking to people, catching a few. Baz has been having some nice ones as well, haven't you, Baz? See it on the close Facebook group. You are posting up. Good to see it happening, mate. Best setup for very weedy lakes. Right, okay. I fish quite weedy lakes. Best setup. You've got to have... Well, I do it a little bit differently, you see. There's two thoughts on this, and I'd like to see what you think about this as well, you guys and ladies out there. But you can either go two ways. You can either really beef up your gear, you know, 3.5 pound test curve rods, really beef it up, you know, real heavy braid, real leaders, all that type of stuff, and fish it like hook and hold and just hold them in the weed and get them out. Depends on the lake as well. If it's on a big lake, I tend to probably go a bit like that. Small lakes, I'm fishing 3 pound test curve rods. I'm fishing braid, but I'm not fishing any leader or anything like that to give it a bit of give. I'm using the curvature of the rod, the 3 pound test curve. I mean, you could use a 2 3/4 as the give. You know, on playing the fish, on getting them out that weed, ejecting the lead. That's what it depends on the lake, but I use 3 pound little SS 3000 reels. The Thinking Anglers braid I use, I really rate that. It's really good sinking braid. That's my setup for my small water, well, like the Woolpack, small water, weedy venues. That's what I use for my setup. If I'm fishing somewhere a lot bigger where I can't use a boat, then definitely probably 12-foot rods, 12-foot 6 rods, 3.5 pound test curve, bigger reels, you know, to really lock and hold and that type of thing with them in the weed, try and get them out. As for end rigs and things like that, lead ejection system, definitely want to be getting rid of that lead in weed. I've lost count the amount of fish that I would have lost if I hadn't been using like an anti-eject, like a clip system, or called a heli save. I've used both of those with great effects of losing that lead on the bite. It still connects there to push that hook home, but losing it definitely helps if you're snag fishing, if you're weed fishing, because I think snag fishing is weed fishing. I think it's both exactly the same thing. Or if you're, you know, fishing heavy weed or light weed, you've got to get rid of that lead, definitely. It does help, always helps. Whether you're fishing pop-ups, bottom baits, whatever it is, always helps. So if you want me to go further with rigs and things like that, let me know, and I'll talk further about what rigs I like to use in weedy lakes. Richard's 5-second rule when dropping food, mate. Yeah, if you saw on the video, if you've watched the video, if you're a subscriber, then I dropped when I was doing biscuit of the week, because we do biscuit of the week every month on the campaign video, wherever it may be, France, here, wherever we're fishing, and I dropped a biscuit, and I was like mortified, like, and I looked at it and I thought, what do? Do I pick it up and eat it, or do I chuck it? Or they were that good that I had to pick it up and eat it. So yeah, it's quite funny as well. Evening you, Stephen. Evening all. If you had to choose one colour of pop-up forever, what would it be and why? I like whites. Whites have always done me well. Washed out pink as well. They're pretty good. Yellows have always been good, but white for me has always done well. Reason being, I think, I remember, who was it? I remember Frank Warwick many years ago saying he had more bites on white pop-ups than anything else at night, which I found as well, to be fair. Not on all lakes. Some lakes are different. I do seem to get a lot. I don't know why it is, but you do seem to get more bites on a white pop-up at night. Also, I think if you've got boilies out in the lake or anything like that, it starts to get washed out, the colour, doesn't it? If you've noticed, you're fishing a fishmeal bait or a lightest creamy bait, it goes more or less washed out white, doesn't it? The pop-ups I use, the Northern Specials, they're not bright fluoro white. Especially when you start adding the bait booster, the Northern Special booster in there, and the liquid sweetener they do, it sort of dulls it down. It makes it an off-white. It makes it a washed-out white. And it corresponds and it complements the bait that's been in the water, like the, you know, like the live system, something like that. It complements it. So it doesn't stand out too much. Initially it does. And so you get the best of both worlds, I think. You either get one a fish come along initially and go, what, blimey, that's showing out, bomb them on it. Or over time, if you like to leave your rods out like I do for a couple of days, the pop-up grows into the area. It comes a lot more like the rest of the baits there. But obviously you've got better hooking efficiency with a pop-up. So white for me all day long. Be interesting to find, what do you think? And what do you guys think? What's your favourite colour of pop-up? That if you could only use one colour for the rest of the time, what would it be? Geordie on tour says, just about to start fishing on a hard specimen lake. Tried all baits, there is no right or wrong. Any tips? This time of year, definitely got to go with like a fluoro type pop-up. White pop-up, pink pop-up, yellow, something like that. Don't feed them. That's one of the main things I've learnt over the spring. And I'm actually releasing a video on Sunday, 6 o'clock on the website, Catch My Carp website, about my tips, my spring tips to keep the fish coming over the springtime. Definitely don't overfeed them. I've never done well putting lots of bait in the spring. It's always been either singles I've done very well on, or a handful of bait, or 7 baits for some reason is a lucky number I've used. But yeah, there's little less is more, definitely in the spring. Try that. Fish for a bite, little PVA bags, single hook baits, stringers, something like that. Not a lot of people use stringers. That sort of fools the carp a little bit of thinking, bloody hell, there's 5 or 6 baits there wrapped around here, like in a ring. What's bloody hell, that's a bit different to what I normally see. I normally see one on its own, or a couple together, or not 5 or 6 in a little, oh, I won't be able to resist it type of thing. But yeah, so you know, there is no right nor wrong, as you say, but give those little things a go. They've gone once already. Look, that's a spawning. Bloody hell, some lakes have. The last couple of weeks they've been spawning. Nick says, Leo, how can you tell the difference between air bubbles and carp bubbles? The way I would say, the easiest way to look at what the difference between air bubbles and carp bubbles from a carp, look at it this way. Carp bubbles, they move. So they may move along. Fish doesn't just stay in one spot feeding like that, but it'll move. It'll move along. It'll move along. So the bubbles will move. Even if it's a few inches, like, you know, half a foot or whatever, it's like it'll move. Air bubbles, they stay in the same place, don't they? They normally break very quickly. The gas, if you see bubbles coming up from the bottom, they're pop straight away. Pop, 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 just the odd one to stay, they're pop. That's the gas, that's the air. With feeding bubbles, they've normally got a lot of other stuff in that sort of bubble, that air bubble. So they don't pop, they stay on the surface for a lot longer. I don't know if it's oil or the substrate or whatever it is, but they don't tend to pop really quickly. You'll get a few. The way to sort of learn this or find this out, when a fish jumps, okay, when it jumps, a lot of the time you'll see a trail of bubbles. You'll see the initial splash, but then when the fish goes down and moves down, you'll see like that, a trail of bubbles. They're the same bubbles that you'll see roughly when it's feeding, them type of things. So, yeah, easy way to differentiate between the two. Carp bubbles are moving, and gas, air from the bottom of the lake, it doesn't move. Hope that helps, Nick. Jay Mark just says, our syndicate have finished spawning. Bloody hell, they haven't even started on the wool pack yet. Hi, Luke again. How you doing, mate? Hope you're well. Adam said, I reckon they will start spawning my syndicate soon. Hope not the big 40 haven't been out yet. No, a couple of ones at the wool pack haven't been out. Most of them have been out now, to be fair, over the last couple of weeks. Evening, everybody. How are we? I'm very well, thank you. And he says, evening all. Roland Sanders, another guy that's booked in to the Sanders Social, 9th to the 11th. Can't wait to see you, mate. We should have a good one. It's going to be quite weedy, I think. So we'll be sorting everyone out to catch him in the weed. There he is, old Woozy, an old friend of mine. Lambie Lake Cardiff started spawning a few days ago. Hope you're well, Woozy. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're good. Yeah, I think they're going to start everywhere. There's Terry. Good to see you, mate. Terry's booked in as well on one of the socials. Neil says his lake started in the first week of May with the stockies in 14 degrees. Better fish still to go at it. Yeah, I wonder if it was just the smaller stocky fish that have started to spawn the last couple of weeks. Now it should be the bigger fish going on, I think. Evening Phil, evening Leon, everyone. Hope you're well. Dave Jones, another guy. Dave will be turning up at the Norton Disney to help out for the weekend, so you can rack his brains. He's been catching quite a few recently as well. Even though hope everyone's well and catching a few. Lovely time to be out now. Yep, lovely. Weather's nice. Not too hot, but it's just nice, isn't it? Good to see you, Dave. Looking forward to seeing you in July. Off to Elson's soon. Yep, love Elson's. Me and you have had one of the rare commons, but after one of the mega mirrors. Yep, lovely, lovely old Elson's. I do like Elson's. Lovely place. Ronnie said, hi Leon. Ronnie, cold South Africa. Hi Ronnie from South Africa. We get people from everywhere, Ronnie, don't we, Ronnie? Eh? Ronnie, America, South Africa, South America, North America, everywhere we've had. Good to see you, mate. Thanks for tuning in. Brian Green, good to see you. Ken says, oi, top 3 baits today. What's the top 3 baits? Top 3 baits, I would say. Got to be boilie. By boilie, I mean boilie, pop up. You know, it's got to be. It must be for versatility. You know, fish are so used to seeing them now as well. Associating with food. Sweet corn has got to be up there as well as the top 3. All these, I'm not doing these by, you know, how good they are. These are just the top 3. And the last but not least, and probably the best, maybe the second, maybe the third, don't know, tiger nuts. Those 3, if you use those 3 on any lake, maybe luncheon meat is a 4th one, I would say there's not a fish you couldn't catch with those 4 baits. Anywhere in the world. What's going on? Not a lot, mate. I hope you're well, Stuart. Evening, Dave. Good to see you, mate. Let's have a look. Louis says, evening all. Evening to you, Louis. Phil said, I'm having a shit time at work, but look into the Belgium Canal trip next Friday. You've got to. If you're having a bit of a bad day or a bad few days, your mental health will look forward and thank you if you're looking forward to a fishing trip. Your mind will be like, oh, yeah, I can't wait to get there. I can't wait. You know, it'd be good. It'll help you get through those bad times. It has for me over the years anyway. I've always had something to look forward to. Right, my next session, or my ticket starts for this lake, or, you know, because life is shit at times, isn't it? If you've got something to go for and look forward to like that, then you've got to do it, haven't you? I've left shelf life freezer boys, a bucket with oils, particles, water, vital except for 4 weeks. It's mint fermenting away deadly. I told you, didn't I, Suma? I told you, if you leave it all fermenting with the old vital in and everything else, particles, it's a good one, isn't it? One of the best kept secrets, or not kept secret, that is. You think, oh, that's horrible. I tell you, it's at its best when it's starting to go off. Hi, Mark. Good to see you, mate. Good for tuning in. Hi, Marius. Hello, big man. I can't wait to see you at Sandhurst. Yes, there's another guy who's going to be at Sandhurst. Booked in yesterday. We had 2 spaces left, and Marius booked in. I have a cup of tea because my throat's so dry of all this bloody talking rubbish, isn't it? So bloody hell, we're 25 minutes in already. Brian said, oh mate, hope you're good. Is live system good for spring, summer, or would you move out to tuna? Live system you can use all year round. It's a very good, a lot of good anglers use it all year round. I use it in the winter because I prefer sort of fish mealy, fishy type of bait. But yeah, you can use it all year round. Tuna's very good from sort of, well, you use tuna all year round as well, but I prefer to use a fish meal more in the warmer months, and a sort of you know, live system, creamy, that bird foody bait for the winter time. But yeah, I wouldn't put you off using live system all year, mate. All year. Bit of liquid liver and some liver powder over the top. Deadly, absolutely deadly. Neil says, need some sun on them legs. Yeah. Dave says, I love the ball pack video. Leon, it's number 13. Number 13, that's it. Unlucky for some. Yeah, hopefully we're doing a few more videos there soon. But I think they're going to spawn soon. So, yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Dave. Glad you enjoyed it, mate. What brisket should I bring on the Naughty Disney? So, Naughty Disney. Luke's also signed in. Surprise us, Luke. Surprise us with the biscuits you're going to bring. Bring us something that you like. We'll have a little taste up, a little tester, can't we? Might even do a little bit of a live stream from Norton Disney. See what happens. Bit biscuit of the week from Norton Disney. Evening, Richard. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Ronnie said, started using CC more shelf life boilies, the live system and Pacific tuna as we're going into winter in South Africa and a very deep lake. Any tips? I'm having a bit of a hit and miss. Very deep lake, live system Pacific tuna, I would be using liquids, most definitely. Try zigs as well. Don't ignore the zigs in the winter time if you can, Ronnie. You've got a very deep lake. Try fish the sides, but fish, put some liquids on those baits so it's going to be kicking them out. It's going to be kicking out all that attraction on them deep lakes. You'll probably get, I found deep lakes, doesn't matter, when it starts to turn cold, up to December. So if it starts getting, that's probably a couple of months in, when it's sort of mid-winter, you should still be able to catch them. And don't be afraid, as you probably know, to go further down into the deeper water. 40, 50 foot people catch them in December in some lakes. Baz says, I'm back out on Sunday for another 40 hours before they start getting randy and jiggy with it. Yeah, it won't be long now, won't it? Any tips for the hot weather on Sandus? Oh, they love boilies, hemp. No, I don't think you can take. No, you can't use hemp anymore. Boilies, corn, I think you can use, and pellet. Those three we'll be using. Little bags, spodding it out there, chopped up. Boilie crumbs, very good on there as well. They love bags, so just find a clear spot in the weed, put a little bit of bait on it, and I think we'll be good to go, to be fair. But I'll be helping you. When we're there, I'm going to be walking around to everybody, same in Norton Disney, trying to get you on the fish, trying to get you, you know, sorted in the weed and wherever else. Now, did you take shelf lives? Yes, I took shelf lives and freezer bait when I go to France. They say I'm still at home because of a chest infection, so I'm hoping to get out on the bank next bank holiday if the fish ain't spawning. Hope you get better, feel better, Dave. Stuart said, when you go to France, can you still take boilies or do you have to hide them from customers? Difficult one. Well, I don't know anyone that's been caught or told off taking boilies. Everybody's saying, I think initially they did a bit of a scare tactic and a couple of people did get caught. But I think the first time, if you get caught, you have a little bit of a slap on the wrist, I believe. So I've been taking boilies, particles, maggots, everything over there. But I think you'll be all right, Stuart. And Leon, just a quick question. Do you take shelf life of boilies or frozen when you go to France? I take both, to be fair. So the first 2 or 3 days I'll be using frozen bait. But normally I just take all shelf life when I go to France. I don't really bother anymore. I haven't taken frozen for a couple of years. It's always been shelf life, unless there is a freezer on site. Then I'll take frozen. But there really isn't any difference now. I would be, if there was no freezer and I was there for a week, I'd be more than happy to take shelf life, which I do. What size pop-up do you like to use? 15 miller for me. Although in the winter I like using an 11, 12 miller. One of the little tiny little Northern Specials. White one again has done me well. But normally summer fishing in the weed, 15 miller, that type of thing. Or 16 if it's a corkboard pop-up. Even everyone, nearly missed it again. Not to worry, Paul. Good to see you, mate. There's Neil. Weedy Lakes, braided mainline. Large PVA bags, no lead. Weight at the back to cast, resistance from fishing the weed, enough to hook the fish. Fair play. Here's something else which works very well. If you've got a surface weed and it's just Canadian and things like that, fill your PVA bag half up with sand. Yes, you've heard it here first. Well, not first. It's been used for years. Sand. It will go straight through all that weed onto the bottom, and the bonus is the sand looks like a nice little feeding spot. So not only where it's so heavy, it creates a little area for your pop-up or your waft or wherever it is to go. You'll be having fish come in and go all that little feeding spot in the weed. That's a real good one, that is, I tell you. And plus the sand takes on a liquid, so you can put liquids in there, can't you? There you go. What we got on our list to look at? That's one I wanted to ask you guys. We're going to have about another 10 minutes here, and then we're going to have to go. We're going to have to go over to the closed Facebook group, to the subscribers live. We just carry on with that. But how often do you go fishing? Let me know in the comments below, guys. how often do you go fishing? This is open to everybody. How often do you go? I try and get out for 48 hours every week. Every week. It's good for my mental health. I'm very lucky that I can do that as well because of my work, because I work for myself. I run a social media marketing business, but creating content for companies to get them more sales and advert and all that type of stuff. But yeah, I'm very, although I do have to take my laptop with me, I'm very in a very good place where I can go for 48 hours every week. So let me know down below in the comments, how often do you go? Evening, mate. Evening, Mark. Come on, your eyes. Yeah, it's going to be in Europe. Hopefully, we'll win that. Hopefully. Alan says, hi, Liam. Good to see you. I was surprised to hear that people don't change their hooks. What do you think to that? I don't always eat. I've had a few different fish on the same hook. If it's still sharp, you know, and I get my hooks at a cheaper rate, things like that, you know, trade a lot of the time, or minus trade. So I can afford to change them as much as I want. But if it's still sharp, or I can actually just sharpen it up with a little file again, mate, there's no reason. This is the way I even leave the same bait on a lot of the time. If I've caught a fish on that rig, if I can put out the same rig, bait, hook and everything on the same spot again, because look at it this way, it's already caught one fish, what's to say it won't catch another one? Think about what I've just said there, guys. The rig, the bait, the hook, everything was perfect for you to be able to catch a fish. So if you're tying up another rig, putting on another hook, putting on another bait that may be different to the original setup, the hook lip might be a little bit big, longer, shorter, the pop-up might not be as buoyant, whatever it is, it was perfect the first time, wasn't it? If I can get away with using the same bait, and it doesn't happen very often, on the same pop-up you can, for catching a fish, if I can ping it back out again, I will do. David says pink is his pop-up colour that he couldn't do. If you had to use one forever, that would be the one. John Adams said white pop-up, especially when on park lakes, imitating bread. Yeah, that's a very good way of looking at that, John, isn't it? Park lakes, imitating bread, white pop-ups. Very good way of looking at that. That's really next level, isn't it? Thanks for that, John. Yellow all day long from Alan. Yeah. Dave Prime says 12mm white singles or doubles. Hi, Darren Thompson. Good to see you, mate, tuning in. Lately, I've switched over from white sector to a match the hatch. There's only one other lad doing it, and it seems it's working. That's the thing, being different. If everyone's using white or pinks or yellows on your lake, match the hatch, innit? It's got to be. Seems to be working for us, and the other lads are scratching their heads. Something in it with it. Definitely something in it. Definitely something. I always like to be different. Evening Facebook user. Danny, another guy, I'll be on the Norton Disney subscription. So a subscriber to Catch My Carp. It's going to be on the Norton Disney social as well. Can't wait to see you, mate. I hope you're well fishing this weekend. I'm hoping for a few down south things. Fair play. Good luck to you, mate. Rooster, green, because I think they can't mistake them for a Brussels sprout, which they love. I'm loving your style there, Rooster. They love a Brussels sprout, don't they? Fair play, Rooster. Green. Love it. Mark Chapman said, I want to fish a local day ticket lake with good sized carp. However, there are an equal amount of catfish. Don't like catfish, which really puts me off. Any advice on how to avoid, or if I do catch, how to deal with her? That's the difficult thing. I wouldn't put out lots of baits. I'll probably fish singles. Catfish home in on bait. They home in on bait, or they home in on carp. They home in on smaller fish, things like that, because that's their food normally. I would probably use singles. I'll be surprised if you catch. You will still catch catfish, but not as many as if you put loads of bait out. Interesting to find out if you use that tactic and how it works out for you. Anthony Miles said, listen to the Calder Pod this week. 2 parts with Richie McDonald, Pete Springate. What a pair of legends. Highly recommend listening if you haven't already. I've fished with Pete Springate before. I've met Richie before. Absolute legends. And I use that term. There's not many legends about still alive in the carp fishing world, but they are definitely 2 of them. Dave said, Leon, when the fish have spawned, would you go to match the hatch or stick with the pop-ups? I tend to go to match. I tend to start fishing a lot more on the bottom. I tend to put in a lot more bait. Pop-ups as well. Depends if it's a really weedy lake and the spots haven't materialised yet. As soon as I can get a little glide through or a nice clean area, I'll be going on the bottom, match the hatch. Good question, Dave. Evening, Julia. Good to see you, my darling. Hope you're well. It's going so quick tonight. Hi, Christopher. Good to see you as well, mate. Here he is, Mr. Milky Bar Low. Hope you're well, Gazza. Hope you're well, mate. Old Milky Bar. Good to see you on here. Dennis says, Dave Jones, looking forward to seeing you at Turner's. Yeah, Dave's a top guy. He's catching some lovely fish at the moment. He's bound to help everyone out as well. You're going to learn loads from him. Hopefully you'll learn loads from myself and from Brother Carp as well. He's going to be there to teach you everything. Any questions about foreign fishing as well, about getting out there, he'll be your guy to speak to. Photography, videography, another guy who's so good at it. Don't think it's warm enough for the fish to spawn down here. Not yet. Won't be long though, I don't think. What's your thoughts on the deeper sonar? I quite like it. As a tool to be used, Nick, I use it as a tool to be used. I'm going to be doing some videos on the deeper sonar actually over the next couple of months. So I'm getting used to it a bit more at the moment. But yeah, it's a good tool to use, that's for certain. I quite like it. I don't use it for finding fish. I use it for finding spots or not as much weed or something like that. Chris said, on linear, caught 4 on the first night. Happy days. What's everyone's favourite boilies? Mine, I'm using the new test bait from CC Moore, but it's got to be the Triple X and the live system for the winter time. There you go, Dave Jones. There he is. And to you, mate. Right, guys, we are going to have to say... let's just... Actually, we're going to have to say goodbye in a minute. In a minute's time, let's do some more... Answer some more because a few people would love the fish bait used to watch the carp catch fish here on his vlogs. Great, yeah, great guy. This one, I thought I'd go through this before we cut off everywhere else. Just go on the close Facebook group. Do you throw blocks of Himalayan salt in, or have you ever witnessed it be so? It can be very successful. I tend to use the fine stuff. We talked about it in last week's live stream about the salt. I use the fine stuff. I coat my boilies with it. I have put little lumps. You can get little lumps about as big as a golf ball that are squared off. You put those on your spot as well. Yeah, they can work very, very well. Guys, look, here's the link if you don't know already. That's more carp.co.uk. Not carpo.carp. Okay, there's the link. If you want to go have a look at catchmorecarp.co.uk, go and have a look. You might enjoy it, guys. There's loads of trailers on there. You can sign up to a monthly or a annual subscription. Over 300 videos on there. You get discounts from J Precision Hooks, from CC Moore, from the Keen Angler, from loads of different companies on there. We do a full hour and you can watch the last 30 minutes as well on there. On the close Facebook group where you can ask any question anytime. And we have a great community. So if it's something of interest, not of interest to everybody, go and check it out and sign up for your monthly or annual subscription. Right, guys, I'm going to say goodbye and thank you very much for tuning in to the guys on YouTube and the Facebook pages, the Catch More Carp Facebook page, the Leon Bartropp Carper Facebook page. We are going to say goodbye to us. Hopefully, not sure if we'll be around next Thursday. It might just be live from the bank. I'll see if this software works there. But, yeah, good. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully we'll see you next Thursday. There's end stream there. Okay.